on this occasion, particularly for the Catholics in our organizations, the source of our consternations are opinions expressed by His Holiness Pope Francis, head of the Roman Catholic Church.
Earlier this year, we became involved with following the Pope's plunge into climate change politics. It started off initially just reading the news reports and sort of being shocked that the Pope was buying into this left-wing political craze that is global warming. But when the Vatican leapt into the controversy on climate science, we were initially under the impression that His Holiness was a victim of bad advice from bad advisors. If we have a Pope who doesn't view things in an orthodox manner, we're going to be having forms returning to the religion that are not orthodox.
Elements of nature worship, and I would say, contrary to some of the criticism, that this is not communism that has entered the church, it's rather paganism.
Religion, and I think we're seeing a revelation of a sort of animistic form in the church.
It's about political motivation that is promoting the Pope's position, which I don't fully understand.
But we're not so much arguing climate change here is really arguing where does a church or someone as powerful as the Pope getting involved in a scientific debate.
Exxon studied climate change and concluded in the 70s and 80s, after 11 years of study, that climate change was real and that it was caused in important part by burning greenhouse gas emitting fuels. If the world's largest oil company came to that conclusion over 30 years ago, isn't that strong evidence against your position?
I'm not familiar with that study, but I can show you the front cover studies. I can show you the front cover of U.S. News and World Report, Time Magazine and Newsweek in the 1975 and 1906 editions said the Earth was cooling, and there were cartoon images of glaciers coming down on us. So I'm not at all familiar with.
We're talking about the world's largest oil company.
Well, I've not read it.
Someone who had a
I'll
stake
look into it.
I'm raising my hand. The premise is the
No,
Pope,
no, I
but all
didn't
I've
say
heard is
speak.
government this, government that.
I'm
You're
sorry.
obviously a free market,
Next.
economic,
That's correct. That's
pushing,
our website.
libertarian, right-wing group.
This is
who
one
wants
last
to,
question
who
that we're
wants
taking,
to
and it's not
present
you.
itself as a religious organization or people who have reason. You have no reason to back you up. You're ideologues, and you're driving our country into the ground. I hope that no policymaker and no religious leader ever listens
Might
to
I
you.
add, you are the living
You're
example
like
of
Holocaust
that.
deniers. It's
Thank
nobody
you very
should
much.
give you
That's
any.
the best you got. That's the best you got. Holocaust
Yes.
deniers.
Yes.
And you really think that's not a disgraceful statement? Do you know what that means?
I
Yeah,
can't be in the
leave.
same room with Holocaust deniers.
No,
or climate
Holocaust
deniers.
deniers.
I'm a Philadelphian that cares about this city, and this city will be underwater if we don't do something about climate change.
I'm sorry.